The first time I heard it in the club was probably really long after it came out, because when I did the record, I wasn't old enough to get in the clubs.
Do you have a favorite word that you use in your raps?
Oh, my favorite word? Probably fuck.
I wrote that.
And, cause you crazy, that's why.
She the best. Well, I was on the TV, I was with the PVs. I listened to your CD, damn, you really wanna be me. Don't care if your name buzzing, you know who the queen be. Della Russo, did your LASIK, bitches still can't see me.
What's going on, folks, with nothing better to do? I'm BlogXilla, this is the No Judgment Zone. Today I have Remy Ma next to me. Woo, legend. What's going on?
Nothing, I'm chilling, I'm regular.
Welcome home.
Thank you.
Yo, we were just chit-chatting about our sound check. That yeah that you told me. Where'd you come up with that? Like, how'd you get the idea for that?
I don't know. I didn't really have an idea. I just noticed that when I record my vocals, when I say the years, they usually be the ones that be off. So it's why not do my sound check like yeah. And then once they get it, I know everything else is gonna be good.
Do you have a favorite word that you use in your raps?
My favorite word? Probably fuck. It's my favorite word.
That's a good word. It's a good word.
It just fills in all the blanks. Like, if sometimes you write something, you're like, damn, I need an extra word. It's like, you know what? I'm gonna say fuck something somewhere in this line. Yeah. It just goes perfect.
Why go to college? Why go to college for your first song out?
It wasn't planned. It was just something that happened. I had, a meeting with him that day anyway. I was supposed to come home the day before, and that didn't happen. But I had scheduled to meet with him that Friday because he was going to Canada or something. So when they didn't let me out until Friday, I was gonna just change all my plans. And we were in the studio, and he was playing all these crazy beats and suggested, like, I think it'd be dope if you get on the remix. So I'm like, all right, who else gonna be on? And he's like, nobody, just you. So I'm like, okay. So he told me, hit me up when you're ready to do it, and we can get back. I'm here right now. Why wouldn't we do it now? Yeah. And I just did it right then.
Scott Storch got a haircut while he was eating a sandwich at the same time he was getting a haircut.
Okay.
Pap got a haircut with a hat on. Did you see that?
Really? I never saw that.
Oh, you have to see that.
I never saw that.
Yeah, Bay got a haircut with a hat on. They call him the King of New York.
I mean, it is what it is.
I want to talk to you about. I watched something on your Breakfast Club interview, and you talked about like you're so empowering for females. Like, I just love the way you were coming, because it's so refreshing to hear that. To hear y'all want to work with these girls. It's more room for all of us out here. Where'd you get that mind state, that mentality?
I mean, I always felt like that. I just didn't have so much product to work with before. When I was home, it wasn't so many females that were actually out and noticeably out. I guess with the social media, it's easier for people to upload their music and their videos, and you just see more of what the world has to offer, whereas before it always seemed like it was only me and probably 2 or 3 other people. But now that everyone has this platform that they can showcase their own things on, it's easier to be like, all right, oh, she's dope, and this girl, she's dope, and they're from all over the place. And I've always felt like, as females, we should stick together to some extent, just especially in such a male-dominated industry. But I never had a problem saluting somebody or taking my hat off to somebody if what they doing is dope.
Was there something that sort of like pissed you off? Not that you seemed angry, but it seemed like something had happened to make you be like, you know what? I'm not a female rapper, I'm a rapper. Because you do rap better than a lot of dudes.
Thank you.
You're welcome. But was there something that really happened that made you be this way?
It's just, when I read interviews on myself as well as other artists, I always hear, female rapper or femc. Like, I was just reading something just now when I wanted to look up Global Grind.
I wrote femc, I wrote that.
And, because you crazy, that's why. Like, I just feel like no one ever does interviews on guys and be like, male rapper or so-and-so. Like, why does it have to be announced that we're our gender before our profession? Yeah. Why? What? So it can put people in a certain mind state to, be prepared. You're about to hear the song, but she's a girl. So, cut her some slack or whatever, or take into consideration that she's a girl. I don't like it.
And then when you have Lil Kim going at Nicki, I feel like you could bridge that gap. I feel like your voice is respected.
I mean, I feel like that too. I demand my respect in a lot of ways, but as far as that incident, how can I fix that? That's a problem between them. I don't know what exactly the problem stemmed from on either person's side, and I think that's a problem that has to be mended and fixed between them. Nicki has to come and want to fix it, and Kim has to come and want to fix it. If not, eventually it's gonna either die down or go somewhere crazy, and I don't really see it going anywhere crazy.
Yeah.
But I can't fix that.
But I mean, I feel like you're big enough to say, hey, Kim, jump on this record. Hey, Nicki, jump on this same record. Let's just do this for New York City.
I mean, that'd be crazy. That'd be, Bronx, Brooklyn, Queens. That'd be dope. Like, if it could actually happen, but I don't know what their situation is.
Yeah.
So where I could be like, all right, Kim. I don't even have the type of, rapport with Kim to where I feel comfortable even coming to her like that. If I knew her a little bit more and we had, some type of history, maybe I could. But who knows? Maybe down the line, after, we sit down and we speak, I could actually do that, and vice versa with the Nicki situation. But right now, like, that's not something I don't even want to touch that situation. That situation is ugly.
Do you have your album figured out already?
To an extent. There's things that always end up being changed. You map things out and you plan things, but at times certain other things pop up that you're like, oh yeah, I gotta do something like this. So I want to do something like this. So I have a couple of albums plans already.
What was it like when you jumped on that Annie Up remix?
Oh, that was crazy. That was definitely, that was amazing. First of all, I'm a teenager. I had been a big fan of MOP for years. What happened was I was signed to Loud Records at the time, and I was, really close with Steve Rifkin, because that's who the first person that Pun ever introduced me to. That's the first person that gave me he had to do my first and my second record deal. Shout out to Steve Rifkin. He's a great guy. But because they were signed to Loud, their A&R, I had access to their A&R, and I had heard the record when they were doing the remix. The original version was already crazy and moving in the streets. So when he came to me, he was like, yo, I got the remix record. What do you think if you jump on this? I'm like, why wouldn't I? So I'm like, who's on it? And it was Busta, it was MOP. Prodigy from Mobb Deep was actually on it, and he didn't come out on the final version, but Prodigy was on it because I think Mobb Deep was signed to Loud Records too. And I went in the studio and I did my verse, and they liked it and they didn't take it off. I was like, yes, they didn't take me off. Like, I didn't know them, I hadn't met them or anything. After that, we became really cool, and I got cool with, Fame and Dance and Fox, and it was a great situation.
Yeah.
But and then they put it on Funkmaster Flex album, so that made it even crazier.
How about the first time you heard it in the club?
The first time I heard it in the club was probably really long after it came out, because when I did the record, I wasn't old enough to get it in the clubs.
Was there a moment that sort of changed you while you were locked up? Like, was there like a moment where you was like, okay, boom, I'm gonna have to sit down and just change my outlook on life?
I can't say a moment. I can say a time period. Mm-hmm. And it was probably after I was already halfway through most of my time, and it was getting close to me about to come home, and I was still so mad. I was mad at, that I was even in prison. Like, to the day I left, I would wake up every day and be like, I cannot believe this is where I'm at. Like, it never sunk in to me that this is where I'm at. I could never fathom it. But I started thinking, like, I had this list of people on this list that either didn't come through like I wanted them to, probably did something to me in the past that they thought now they were forgiven because, I was in prison, and they did reach out. But I just had this list. It was actually a physical list with names on it. When people would do something to me, I would write, like, that's it, they're on the list. And I had it in my mind that when I come home, they better not say anything to me. Stay away from me. I don't want these people nowhere around. And me harboring that fire for them it was like burning me up. I was on fire being mad at people that really didn't matter. Or even if they did matter, the situation wasn't that serious for me to just be so, overwhelmed by it. And I came to the conclusion that, I'm either gonna come home and be mad at certain people and just walk around holding these grudges, or I could just wipe everybody's slate clean and start everything new. My career, my relationships with people. And I realized that one would be the most peaceful and the most calm one. And I just prayed on it. I prayed and I gave everything to God. And when I woke up the next day, I swear it sounds crazy, but I wasn't mad anymore.
Yeah.
I wasn't mad. And I realized that, just because I was where I was at, everyone else's life didn't stop. Everyone is not like me. Everyone's not gonna, move how I would move in a certain situation. Something happened to my bestie or somebody in my family, I'm there. Everyone knows that about me, but I can't expect that in return. And I never did anything to receive things in return, but I'm probably even using the wrong words by saying I'm mad. I was more hurt. And the fact that I allowed somebody to hurt me, that's what was making me mad.
Yeah.
So I just came to the conclusion that I'm gonna start everything, every single aspect of my life with a clean slate. And it's work, because when I tell you I wake up every day like ecstatic, there's no stress, nothing that I feel like I'm worried about or anything. And it's a great feeling, as opposed to waking up and want to punch somebody in their face. What up, y'all? It's your girl Remy Ma. The ruler is back, and you are watching Global Grind TV.
If anything, I can say when this cat was red, but I thought, nah, forget it. Yo, home, the Bel Air. Now singing it.
They're almost tied as far as, smoking goes. So Smoking with Be Real was very similar to Smoking with Snoop.